Hi, everybody. We've been discussing about the project-based learning, and I'm going to talk about the most important competencies of project-based learning. To start with, let me again introduce the project-based learning. The project-based learning is widely seen as a teaching method that promotes the student agency, and the student agency is associated with words like choice, ownership, and autonomy. While choice and autonomy are part of project-based learning, this approach also often involves students working together, collaborating to solve a problem or create a positive change. And student groups don't do it alone. Definitely, there will be a teacher to support them and do the mentorship by guiding. The teacher's guidance is needed to instill in students the skills and confidence to undertake the significant projects. So now let me take you into a presentation where I will explain you different competencies by using this project-based learning in your curriculum. To start with, what is competency? Competencies are the capability to work responsibly and independently and have the ability to apply knowledge and skills in a work situation or a study context. So this is what we are going to talk about, competencies. So it is about knowledge about something or the ability to do something. So there is an integrated taxonomic understanding that competences are based on knowledge about something and the ability to do something, and the competences add a dimension of being able to judge and arrange independently when to do what, using what knowledge, and not least to know when new thing or new thinking is needed. The problem field could arise from an unsatisfactory situation, a situation with untapped potential, or from a more fundamental wondering about situations where risks and potentials are still unknown. A problem-based learning environment thus requires the highest taxonomic level. Therefore, PBL, progressive learning goals for problem-based and project-organized learning, are based on the PBL conceptuals, and they are the competencies which we are going to discuss today. So to start with, PBL competencies are defined as 4 fields of competencies. Number 1 is problem-oriented competencies, which are the relationship between the students and the problem. And number 2 is interpersonal competencies that characterize the relationship between the student and other people, such as fellow students, supervisors, external partners, etc. And number 3 is structural competencies that characterize the relationship between the student and the tools or the methods used to structure the problem-based learning process. And then the 4th one is metacognitive competencies that characterize the relationship between the student and the learning process, which supports, connects, and creates new thinking in all the 3 above mentioned competencies. So the PBL competencies comes in this fashion with metacognitive competencies, problem-oriented competencies, interpersonal competencies, and structured competencies. So the interpersonal, that is between people, and the structural, that is people in relation to tools, competencies can be summarized in a single concept as process competencies. That is, The competencies focused on handling the process of problem-oriented work. It should also be noted that the metacognitive competences are relevant across the first three competencies. There is a cross-cutting digitization competency that is related to the PBL competencies. Although the idea of digitizing the education sector is present in both PBL and more traditional learning environments. The pedagogical model will have strong implications in terms of how digital competencies come into play. So seeing in detail, the metacognitive competencies example, individual competency profile, professional understanding, teamwork, project skills, career and learning goals, individual and collective learning strategies, optimize the choice of digital learning and collaboration methods in relation to goals, optimization of individual learning, motivation for learning, and strategies for change. And then comes the problem-oriented competencies, for example, the problem identification, types of problems, methods for problem analysis, creativity, user involvement, actor analysis, understanding of cultural context, sustainability, sustainable development goals, ethics, problem formulation or definition, and criteria for problem solving. Then comes the interpersonal competencies, for example, team building, team culture, team roles, digital collaboration, communication strategies, dealing with diversity, conflict management, creating constructive dialogue, decision-making processes, collaboration within the group, collaboration with other groups, collaboration with supervisors, and collaboration with external partners. And then comes the structural competencies, for example, project management, delegation of tasks, objectives, formulation of activities, time and activity management, agile management systems, digital project management tools, meeting types, role distribution, meeting planning, meeting management, scientific communication, external cooperation, and external contracts. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, now we have seen and discussed about this PBL competences. Stay blessed and look forward for further more details about the modern teaching methods. Stay blessed.